Gemini, welcome to your reading. This is a general reading, so take what resonates and leave what doesn't. If you'd like a personal reading, head to my website for more information. The link will be in the description box. Okay, this is interesting. You've got Prince of Swords, Queen of Swords, Ruin, Peace, Indolence, Eight of Cups. Yeah, this is telling me you guys are sorting out some pretty intense communication issues. Could be the way you communicate. Could be thoughts, like dysregulated thoughts, dysregulated emotions. It's all about how, like, the brain, things of that nature. There could be active discussions happening around things that are a bit taxing for you, like you might have to confront something that you don't want to confront, like maybe you're dealing with like a real estate and you know they're going to be difficult, but you've got to do it because maybe there's damages or like mold issues or whatever it is. Maybe it's a family thing, like people want you to reach out, they're trying to reach out to you and you're just like, no, you bring chaos and toxicity and I'm trying to set healthy boundaries, like people disagreeing, all that sort of stuff. But I see you sorting things out with your mind, with your thoughts, how you communicate. It's like you're actively kind of battling something, so I'm getting, for a lot of you, this could be a pretty mentally taxing time for you. But the Queen of Swords tells me that it's a mature thing, like this is a wise thing that's happening. It may feel a bit distressing, but it's necessary. It's kind of like a purge, and you're kind of addressing the things that you haven't addressed in your mind, and addressing certain communication issues, communicating things that you were holding on to, that sort of thing. But doing it from a wise standpoint with the Queen of Swords here. Ten of Swords tells me that there's an ending with some sort of idea or communication pattern, cycle, which is good if it's negative and you've struggled to, I guess, come to a conclusion or bring yourself to confront something or think about something that's difficult. If you manage to sort this out from a mature and wise point and you don't back down, you don't go, oh, this is too much, and walk away, it will bring an ending, but it may not be that the situation collapses. It could just be that the cycle of communication that you've been using, the ineffective style perhaps, is going to come to an end. You're just not going to see some sort of communication or thought process that was serving you, or at least long established. Maybe you see a pattern of how you show up or something that comes to an end, and it actually brings you peace. So if you stick with this and push through this, it's actually going to bring you peace. But because of this, you're going to look back and be like, oh, the emotions that might come from this is like, oh, have I wasted like a lot of time? Oh, if I had to figure this out sooner, or oh, now these people aren't in my life and I do love them, but I mean, I did the right thing, I know I did it, it came to an end, but I have peace now. The peace is important. If you have to even get to this point, it means that there are issues, there are things that need to be addressed, there are things that you need to face, and it may not be in the conventional sense. You may not have to, like, let's say, air your entire family's dirty laundry, but it could be just you coming to peace with what was happening to you, any injustices, people who were taking advantage of you, that sort of thing. Those sort of things where you weren't able to stand up for yourself or handle it appropriately the way you could have looking back. But I see that there's so much reflection going on here that you've probably figured out what the best course of action is should it ever happen again. And because you understand this, you're kind of standing firm as the queen with the sword. You've got a sword as a prince and a queen, so you're actively sorting this out, maturely processing it, contemplating it, not just making harsh decisions. Very logical, very pragmatic, which is good. I'm going to get some clarifiers. I started drawing them before I started recording, so I've stopped. I'll only put down the one that came out before. So the clarifier for the Prince of Swords is purify. Yeah, so this tells me purify the mind, purging thoughts, purifying communication patterns, ways that people speak to you or about you, and really putting it on lockdown, being like, this isn't what's going to happen anymore, I won't accept that. This is what has to happen, and this is what will happen. Because you come into the queen, so she's very authoritative, but fair. So I'm just going to get some more clarifiers for the queen. Can you clarify the queen? Hey. Okay, you got 2 here. What's this? What did I tell you? All about wisdom and logic. You got communication, which is exactly what we've been talking about, and you've got inner wisdom. So, communicating your inner wisdom, you may need to do some chakra work, but I get that you're probably pretty well set in what you need to do and how you think and how you're communicating, being the more mature approach, which is great because you've been thinking about it. You've been purifying your mind. You've been purifying all these different things surrounding mercurial energy, which is amazing because then life's going to get a lot easier and more peaceful. Yeah, inner wisdom and communication. That's amazing that came out of the Queen of Swords after that's basically what this reading has been about. We're going to keep going. What's the 10 of Swords? The Ruin. What's that about? Ooh, right straight off the bat. There we go. Meditation. Yeah, reflection, purify, communication, inner wisdom. This is telling me that through your reflection and meditation as the Queen of Swords, you do come into a state of ending when it comes to communication, things that are being said to you, said about you, the way people communicate with you and you communicate with others, the way you think about things and others in the world. All of that's changing and all the toxic patterns are being cleared out if you're doing the work. So do the work. If you're doing it, keep doing it. It's going to pay off big time with peace. If you're not doing it and you feel overwhelmed, ask your spirit guides for help. Just say, hey, look, I'm struggling down here. Can you give me some guidance on how to, move through this a bit more clearly? So I'll get some clarifiers for that one. Peace. Ooh, straight out. Okay. Control. Full moon. So that's telling me, yeah, you've gained control and mastery over your mind because of this entire process, this meditation, this communication of your inner wisdom, purifying your thoughts. Control. And given that you're Gemini, like, you're an air sign, you're like one of the airiest air signs in my opinion, this is something very up your alley. It's like, you know how to do this. You've just got to get it done and be relentless when it comes to sorting this out, but fair and honest. But yeah, I see most of you are already doing that, so keep doing it because the peace that comes from this will grant you a level of control over your own thoughts, reactions, communications, both from you and from others to you. You're just going to be able to handle it and with a level of sophistication that you haven't reached up until now. So we're going to get some clarifiers for the 8 of Cups. Whee. I think that was my bad shuffling. Hang on. Oh. Okay. So a chunk of cards fell out. One fell out separate to them, and the only one that was up was the one that fell out separate, so I'm taking it. Because it's got risk reward. Here we go. Belladonna risk reward. Yeah, I'm getting that there's like a sense of emotional dread from having to do this process because it's something obviously that you haven't been doing because there's a huge change into something positive. So what's been going on hasn't been that positive, hasn't really been serving you. Keep purifying your mind, your energy, and trusting the inner wisdom, the communications that come through from the meditation. People will look at your life and be like, oh wow, they've changed, they don't allow this. Oh, it could highlight stuff in them that they're not ready to face. That's fine. This is where I get this risk reward coming in with the 8 of Cups. It's a good card in a sense that you've come out of something bad, but because you had to go through something bad that was repeating, it's kind of like, oh god, like it's just kind of like wounded warrior sort of energy. But the reward is you get control and peace over your mind, over the way people speak to you, you speak to them. And obviously you can't control everything that people say to you, but the effect that it has on your mind, it's just kind of like your understanding and your wisdom has that energy just bouncing off because you're like, I don't accept that, that's not even true, thank you. Without having to argue, without having to justify and over-explain and, ruminate. I'm getting that you break free of this cycle and there's just more this solid, grounded, peaceful vibration coming in. Good for you, Gemini. I'm going to leave it there. That's beautiful. As long as you keep doing the work, keep doing it, because peace is coming if it hasn't already begun to show up. Keep doing the work, it will show up, and it will grant you control like you've never had before in positive, healthy ways. Alright, Gem, thanks for listening. Again, if you want a personal reading, book in. If not, I'll see you in the next one. Okay, thanks for watching. Blessed be.